Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Cam, and I'm back with another reaction video. How you guys feeling? How you guys doing? How you guys day going? Comment down below. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Today we're gonna reacting to popular Philly Muslim woman killed by ex in a barbershop after stealing his money and properties to splurge with new man. Tragic story of Tiffany Wade. Hey, look, man. Everybody wants my bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants my bad bitch. Till bad bitch start doing bad bitch shit. Getting you for your money and using you for your bread. You know what I'm saying? So, if this is what they say is true, you was definitely scandalous. And bad bitches ain't what they made out to be seen. I'll tell you that right now. Before we get into this video, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with the like button, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time I post a video. Also, if you guys have any videos like from react to social media sites in the description below, feel free to send them in and I'll react to them. With that being said, let's get right into this video.
I step on it because I look at you different. Why the about my baby mom? I don't give it. Yo, if you ever was the top nigga, she'd tell you that.
I would never talk to that ain't on my level. She ain't the fuck nothing to me. And she never been in my circle. She never been around me. I didn't know.
And you've been bringing it up. So now I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm never gonna touch you again. I'm never physically gonna hurt you. You marry this nigga, I'm blowing his fucking head off on everything I love.
Damn.
I'm going back to prison on everything. I don't give a fuck about
This is my
that.
rampage. I was scared as shit. I was alone. Something. He starts calling me, and then.
I told you stop throwing it in my face. If this is what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Stop throwing it in my face. I just left you 2 months ago. Stop throwing it in my face before I kill you.
Oh.
That's what I'm telling you, because that's what my mom said. I will go there.
Natifa and Armand had been married before, and they had a son together.
Damn. Yo,
which
listen,
is one of
some men are willing to crash out. I'm saying some men are definitely willing to crash out, and I'm not gonna say don't take it for a joke, but if somebody say they want to take your life and they fine with it, you better think twice about what you're doing. That ass.
kids seen with Natifa. Armand was rich at the time and had lots of properties around Philly and Miami, but due to his criminal records, he acquired most of the properties in Natifa's name.
Biggest mistake.
Something happened
See?
along the line, and Armand had to go do some time in jail again. So, he put Natifa in charge of all his properties for her to take care of it while he was away.
That'll do it.
Not too long after, Natifa was put in charge. She changed the ownership of all the properties to her name,
Holy shit.
divorced him while in jail, and worst of all, she got married to another man and started a new life. Now, after Armand did his time and was out, he discovered that all his properties were listed in someone else's name. He confronted Natifa and demanded for his properties back from her, but she kept playing him, going back and forth, still flaunting luxury on her social media with her new man.
Damn.
Armand got angry and started sending threats. She recorded everything, the conversations, text voice notes, mail as evidence, because she knew he was going to do something crazy.
Us to be together, like I really do.
But she didn't know when or where, until the day he traced her down to the barbershop where she took their son for a haircut
Not in
and
front of
unlived
kids,
her
bro.
right in front of their son.
Oh my god.
My question is, didn't he know the kind of woman he married, and why would he entrust
Look,
everything?
man, I understand couples go through shit, and I say this all the time. I understand it completely. You know what I'm saying? We're not perfect. We are not made to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? We all have our flaws. I don't care what no couple is going through. I don't think you should involve kids. Meaning beating on them in front of kids, fighting on them in front of kids, arguing in front of kids, killing in front of kids. I don't think y'all should be killing each other at all. But if y'all gonna do it not in front of kids, bro. Please. It's very traumatizing, and yeah, you may be angry, but now you just traumatize your kid because now he just lost his mother and he lost his father because you about to go sit in jail. Please be more mindful in what we're doing out here. You know what I'm saying? On her end, very, very, I understand that you probably, I can't speak for you, but I understand women that don't want to sit and wait on a man that's in jail. I completely get it. You have wants and needs that you want to get done, and you do not make him do those crimes that he chooses to commit to sit in jail. So I understand kind of where you're coming from. But to take from him to go be with somebody else and change everything from himself to another man, or to put it to yourself to go be with another man, very disrespectful. I don't agree with that at all. You know what I'm saying? Don't agree with that at all. Men sitting in jail thinking that their girl gonna have to sit and wait for them, don't think that. Don't think that whatsoever. Because they will flip on you in a flip of a switch. But to go take from him and go live with another man, I understand his frustration. Killing you, don't agree with, but his frustration, definitely understand.
Thing to her. Is it love or what? We left their son for a haircut and unlived her right in front of their son. My question is, Didn't he know the kind of woman he married, and why would he entrust everything to her?
Word.
Is it love or what? We live in a world where it's hard to trust oneself, not to talk of trusting someone else,
Word.
especially with money and luxury. Dear viewer, was it right or wrong for him to have entrusted all his properties to her?
Yeah.
Are his reactions and
I
actions...
think that it was definitely wrong for him entrusting her. But at the end of the day, he didn't want to lose it, so he put it to his next best partner. And I wouldn't say it's always true that somebody you know who you're dealing with, because a lot of women out there will put on an act just to be under you, and then the second that you need them or need to rely on them, they'll flip the switch. So I wouldn't say that either.
Justified. Why would he end a life due to materialistic things? No weapon, no suspects in custody. It was a crime that left more questions than answers. The barbershop on West Lehigh Avenue wasn't just a scene of tragedy. It was the epicenter of an investigation that quickly intensified. Nidifa Wade's murder wasn't random, and police knew they had to act fast. But with no clear evidence to guide them, the clock was ticking. Investigators scoured the scene for any trace of evidence. Every inch of the barbershop was examined. Door handles, floors, windows. But the weapon used to take Nidifa's life was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, he's running with it down the block.
The absence of this critical piece of evidence complicated the case further. Witnesses described hearing the gunshots, but the chaos of the moment left their accounts scattered. Law enforcement pieced together a basic timeline, but a clear narrative was still out of reach. Realizing the case was at a standstill, the police turned to the public for help. A $20,000 reward was announced for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible. Flyers were distributed, tip lines were flooded, and the call for justice echoed across the community.
Damn.
But even with the
Niggas would
reward,
do anything for some
leads
money.
were slow to surface. How effective do you think these rewards are in solving cases like this? As the investigation continued, pressure mounted. Every day Armand Hilton remained at large. Fear grew. Would the man deemed armed and dangerous strike again? Police poured resources into tracking Hilton down, working day and night to follow up on every lead. But with no weapon and only fragments of information, they faced an uphill battle. Some people said she should have returned what belonged to Armand and move on with her new man. But that doesn't give him the right to take her life.
No, it does not.
He promised to take her life and go back to prison, and that's exactly what he did, but still hasn't gone to prison. For her family, every moment without answers feels like an eternity.
Like, I get, we don't want to lose those loved ones, and may she rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to lose loved ones. But one thing I don't do, and I don't condone, and I will never do, and I'll always be honest, keep it truthful. If you are doing people dirty, and somebody take your life behind it, yes, I feel for you. You understand? Yes, you're my loved one. Yes, I love you, and yes, they should take your life. But why is you out there doing fuck shit? And I'm simply saying that because I live by code of you get what you receive, you get what you put out. You understand what I'm saying? So again, for her situation, if you out there and you found your man that entrusted in you and was looking out for you and did the best by you to keep you afloat and give you this fantastic lifestyle that you want to live, and you feel like you want to move on, you're supposed to just move on. Not take from him and leave him empty and go to the next one. You don't do that. So me personally, if that was my sister, cousin, brother, whatever the case, I would be, what is it like? I would literally have questions of why would you want to do that? Why would you do that? And I'm being so dead ass serious because it's foul. Shit is not getting easier by the day. You understand what I'm saying? So for you to build an empire for yourself, for you and your girl and her to take everything from you and leave, it's foul. Whether we agree with what, you know what I'm saying, what he was doing or not. You don't do that. You leave what he gave to you and you move on. Simple. Everybody wants him a bad bitch. That's what bad bitches do. I ain't gonna lie.
My birthday is tomorrow.
May she rest in peace, though.
That's all I wanted to say.
You don't have a tripod at all?
Somebody stole hers.
Somebody stole it?
Somebody gave it. Somebody stole it.
Ouch, I burnt my leg. I lost my mind. I was only drunk because I didn't have no food. Nobody cared that I didn't have food. Y'all just kept giving me Patron.
I didn't have any food all night long, and I paid all the money for that food.
Philadelphia police have identified a suspect in connection with a deadly shooting inside a North Philly Barbershop. 44-year-old
Philly's
Armin
on fire.
Hilton is wanted for murder, robbery, and related charges. Police say he shot and killed Natifa Wade inside a barbershop on Lehigh Avenue on Saturday afternoon.
It was a quiet Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia. A barbershop, just like any other, filled with the hum of clippers and friendly chatter. Families walked by, unaware that this ordinary day would soon be shattered by an act of unspeakable violence. A single gunshot, then another. The peaceful neighborhood was jolted awake as chaos spilled onto the street. Inside the barbershop, a life was taken in the blink of an eye. But this wasn't just any random act of violence. The
Then he
killer,
warned you, bro.
still
Like he
out
told
there, armed, dangerous, and leaving behind more questions than answers. But this isn't just a story about a murder. It's about a chilling trail of evidence, a suspect with a shadowy past, and a motive that will leave you questioning everything. On October 7, 2023, in North Philadelphia, a barbershop on the 2500 block of West Lehigh Avenue became the scene of a fatal shooting. A 40-year-old woman, later identified as Natifa Wade from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, was shot in the torso and head. Medics pronounced her dead at the scene. Why did this happen? Was this personal, or part of something unsettling? And how did a quiet corner of Philadelphia become the backdrop for such a brutal crime? Stay with us as we unravel the layers of this perplexing case, exploring the investigation that followed, because the deeper we dig, the more disturbing this story becomes. From the moment the shots were fired, to the manhunt that's gripping an entire city. And what we uncover might just make you look over your shoulder tonight. And at some point, I'm going to introduce the most intriguing twist in this story that will leave you perplexed. This is the tragic story and mystery behind the tragic death of Natifa Wade. This tragic story took place in Philadelphia, often called the City of Brotherly Love. Has a rich history, but faces significant challenges in recent years, including rising crime and gun violence. As of late, the city has struggled with alarming homicide rates, with gun-related crimes contributing to much of the violence. Community efforts and law enforcement initiatives are ongoing to address these issues, but the impact of gun violence continues to resonate deeply. This tragic backdrop frames the heartbreaking story of Natifa Wade, underscoring the urgency for justice and solutions. Natifa Wade wasn't just a name in a news report. She was a daughter, a friend, a business owner. She hailed from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, a town southwest of Philadelphia. A devout Muslim, her faith was a guiding force in her life. She was known to be a kind and giving person. Her friends describe her as generous, hardworking, and full of life. According to her social media, she was passionate about helping people. She opened a home healthcare service for the Philadelphia community. She was the owner of a cleaning service, a herbs and spices seasoning shop, a hair extension business amongst others, and a little bit of real estate, which is a testament to her drive and entrepreneurial spirit.
Now, was that all her money, or was that his shit that he was giving to her? You know what I'm saying? That's what they ain't gonna say. Was that his shit that he was giving to her, or was that shit that she required on her own? You know what I'm saying?
She was also a registered nurse and a mother to 3 adorable children. This detail alone adds a whole new dimension to this tragedy. Imagine the void left behind. What do you think is the hardest part for a family to endure after such a loss? She's always seen flaunting her wealth on her Instagram page, buying designer clothes, fancy cars, luxury vacations, and living her life to the fullest. But on that October afternoon, she wasn't at her business or on vacation. She wasn't at home with her family. Instead, she was at a barbershop on West Lehigh Avenue in North Philadelphia. Why? That's the question investigators and those who loved her are still asking. Why was Natifa at that barbershop on West Lehigh Avenue that day? That's a question that haunts this case.
To get a haircut.
While details are still emerging, it appears she had accompanied a friend or relative. She wasn't simply a random victim. There was a connection, a reason she was there at that specific time. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. It wasn't a random act of violence. This was something else. Reports began to surface suggesting a possible domestic element to this case. This information changes everything. It paints a picture of a situation far more complex and personal than initially imagined. This wasn't a stranger-on-stranger crime. It was something far more intimate, something that likely involved someone Natifa knew. This is where the story takes a truly disturbing turn. If this was a domestic situation, what led to such extreme violence? What could have possibly triggered such a devastating outcome? And who was the person connected to Natifa in such a way? These questions hang heavy over this investigation, and they form the crux of what we'll explore next.
It's like I don't agree with son the way he did it, but at the end of the day, it's like I understand it because at the end of the day, you get out of jail, and like they said, she's flaunting her lifestyle on Instagram, and everybody and their mother got Instagram. So people that know me, that know her, come back to me telling me, listen, she's out vacation, she's out here, she's out there, doing this, buying that, with my shit. You understand what I'm saying? And that can only make one go like drive himself crazy, knowing that I'm broke now because I chose to confide in my girl, wife, whatever the case may be, and she took all that I got and gave it to another nigga. So it's definitely understanding as to why he did what he did. Do I agree? Not at all.
Don't go anywhere, because the next part of this story will leave you speechless. It was just before 2 p.m. on Saturday, October 7th, 2023. A typical weekend afternoon. But inside a barbershop on the 2500 block of West Lehigh Avenue in North Philadelphia, that ordinary day was about to be shattered. Imagine the buzz of clippers, casual conversations, the smell of aftershave, and then a single gunshot. Everything changed in an instant. What do you think would be going through the minds of the people inside at that moment? Share your thoughts in the comments. Witnesses described the chaos that immediately followed. Panic erupted. People scrambling for cover, shouting, the immediate realization that something terrible had just happened would be going through the minds of the people inside at that moment. Share your thoughts in the comments. Witnesses described the chaos that immediately followed. Panic erupted. People scrambling for cover, shouting, the immediate realization that something terrible had just happened. Natifa Wade had been shot. She suffered gunshot wounds to her torso and head. The barbershop, a place of routine and community, had become a scene of unimaginable violence. This wasn't some distant event. It happened in a place where people gathered, a pause, and a growing number of unanswered questions. But amidst the initial confusion, a crucial detail began to surface. This wasn't a random act of violence. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. Answers, as they begin to surface, are more unsettling than anyone could have. Natifa Wade's murder. Details about his specific background are limited, but the crucial piece of information was this. There was a connection between Hilton and Natifa. Reports suggested a domestic element to the case, hinting at a relationship between the two. This wasn't a random act. It was something far more personal, and their message was clear. They needed to apprehend him quickly. The public was urged to exercise extreme caution and to report any sightings immediately. This wasn't just an investigation anymore. It was a race against time. The thought of a potentially violent individual, history of dangerous behavior. This detail is important. Armin Hilton's past that added a truly disturbing dimension to this case. Back in 2002, he was involved in a kidnapping case gone wrong. He was apprehended while he and his crew wanted to collect the ransom money, and he made the papers. This wasn't a minor offense. This was a serious crime that revealed a capacity for violence. This information casts a long shadow over the current investigation. It suggests a pattern, a history of dangerous behavior. This detail is important because it offers a glimpse into Hilton's past, and it makes the current situation all the more terrifying. It begs the question, what was he capable of now? This past incident raises serious concerns about the potential danger he posed to the public. What do you think about this previous crime? What will make you question twist? True crime stories did lots of finding.
Alright, so long story short, I mean they did those extra nonsense was pointless because at the end of the day it's the same thing that still stands. She had property, she took the property and gave it to another dude, and he came home, told her he was gonna kill her, came home and actually did it. So that's sums up the story. May she rest in peace, and my condolences go out to her and her family, anyone affected by the situation. But at the end of the day, you can't be out here doing people greasy, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. A lot of people feel like they can just do whatever they want to people, think it's not having no type of repercussion, no type of reaction, and they want to put the blame on them like, oh, why are you reacting that way? Because of what you did. Because of what you did. His crimes, that what he did, don't speak on him beating on you, violating you, no type of violence between the two of y'all. Simply, y'all had a disagreement, you decided to move on, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, I don't agree with what he did, but I also don't agree with what you did. So again, stop. Let's try to normalize and stop trying to violate people. If someone's giving you and doing for you the best that they can, don't try to violate and take what they gave to you and move on to the next person. If you feel like you want to move on, move on. If you want to deal with their problems, what they got going on, no problem. But don't try to just take everything and leave. The second he got out of jail, that was your cue to take whatever he gave you and give it back and move on with your life. You understand what I'm saying? But to just want to leave the man broke, I don't agree with. Don't agree with it at all. But again, this is his fault. Why? Because at the end of the day, you shouldn't have been out doing what you was doing. You know, I understand we come up from a harsh environment. Some of us may be victims to the streets and, you know, fall victims to the streets and try to pick up these habits to try to make a little extra cash because we don't have the money at home. I get it. But at the end of the day, you should have been able to put yourself in a predicament to either one, change your environment to be able to withhold all these things, or two, set up where, you know, you could trust somebody to hold these things down while you're in jail. So me personally, it is your fault because you should have been, you know, more picky on who you left your financial and wealth to. I understand we got girls, we trust our girls, but unfortunately you just can't trust everybody. So now you in jail and ain't no telling where your wealth is gonna go. So that's the end of that. But for all my fellas out there, future wise, women too, just be careful who you leave your shit to. You may think you may know somebody, and then they turn of a switch, they'll flip on you. So again, try to stay clean so, you know, the past don't come back and haunt you. And again, be careful on who you trust, because at the end of the day, it may come back and haunt you as well. So make sure you rest in peace, and to him, I wish you the best of luck. And that's that. That's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys can put this video. Until next time, I'll see y'all.